Honorable Judge Jason.
Court does call the case of the People versus David Edmonds.
Good morning, this is Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Edmonds. I don't see Mr. Edmonds in the courtroom. I don't know if he's on Zoom.
David Edmonds.
Teresa Claire on behalf of Mr. Edmonds was scheduled for the court for a sentencing his pre-sentence interview appointment. Given that he's not here and be able to, with court ordered him to do probation tasking for eventual.
Second time around.
Your Honor, I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear. I do know yesterday he did call and set up an appointment. I'd ask for an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue, bond 15,000, 10%. Warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Nancy Frederick.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with it on behalf of Ms. Frederick, who is present via Zoom. Can you please unmute and state your name for the record, ma'am?
Nancy Frederick.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. I have reviewed the PSIR with Ms. Frederick. We have no changes, additions, or corrections, and would respectfully request to address the recommendation very briefly when appropriate.
Go ahead.
Ms. Frederick is asking that the court adopt the recommendation. However, she is asking the court to consider possibly not imposing the no-go to any Walmart in the state of Michigan condition. Ms. Frederick informs me that for her daughter's life necessities, Walmart is the most convenient and affordable place to shop. She understands and did explicitly tell me that she understands the court will likely order that condition and she will comply with it. However, she did want to make that request. Otherwise, we ask that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
All right. Ms. Frederick, anything you want to say before the court imposes sentence?
I would just like to apologize to the court for taking this time out for my stupidity. It was just stress in my life and I dealt with it the wrong way. And I apologize to the court and to my family as well.
Sentence of the court. Place you on 4 months prosecutor deferred sentence. You're to pay $480 fines and costs, $120 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, ma'am?
I would need time to pay it if I can be put on a payment schedule.
Do you have anything today that you can pay?
I could pay $50.
Okay, I'm gonna order $50 by Friday, the 12th, and then a payment plan as arranged by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a theft class. You're to do that within the next 60 days. No going to any Walmart store in the state of Michigan. Set a review hearing that's to be held November 13th, 2024 at 9 a.m. 93 days in jail. That is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Frederick. You can log off now.
Thank you.
Court calls the case People versus London Gooden.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Gooden, who should be present via Zoom. Can you please unmute and state your name for the record, ma'am?
London Gooden.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. I have reviewed the PSIR with Ms. Gooden. We have no changes, additions, or corrections, and would ask that respectfully request the court follow probation's recommendation.
Ms. Gooden, anything you'd like to say before I impose sentence?
That mistake will never be made again. And I do apologize to the court. I would like to apologize to the victim and everybody else who would affect it. I do.
Sentence of the court, $425 fines and court costs. I'll order 90 days in jail, suspended. When can you pay the fines?
I was going to ask if I could get a payment plan, but I do have $120 that I could pay today.
Okay, $120 today. And then when do you think you could get the balance together to pay?
I could get another probably $100 Friday, and then I'll pay the rest off next Friday.
Oh, okay. So $100 by the 19th, you think?
Yes, I'll have it all paid by the 19th.
Oh, you'll have it all paid by the, okay.
Yes,
Then I'll
yes.
just do this, $120 today, and then the balance by July, what did I give you, till July 30th? Get
Okay.
it paid before the end of the month, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You take care.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Gooden.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Leonard Gustweiler.
Assistant
Good morning, sir.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Gusweiler, please state your name for the record, sir.
Leonard Gustweiler.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. I have reviewed the PSIR with Mr. Gusweiler. We only have one minor correction. On page 1 under education, I believe it states that Mr. Gusweiler graduated high school in 1967. He informs me that he in fact graduated high school in 1968.
67.
67 was correct?
Yeah, I was in the Army in 68.
And he entered the Army in 68, not 67. So the graduation year was correct, Your Honor, but he entered the Army the following year in 1968.
Okay, so that's right. He got it. Okay.
We then do have no changes, additions, or corrections, and would respectfully request that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
All right. Mr. Gusweiler, is there anything you'd like to tell the court?
Thank you, I guess, for your patience.
Sometimes it's all I have.
And I will remember you have a long memory.
Thank you, sir. It's the sentence of the court, 12 months prosecutor deferred sentence. You are to pay $655 fines and court costs, $360 probation oversight fees, $955 restitution to innovative photo payable through the court. When can you get that paid, sir?
I have 495 today,
Okay.
and hopefully the rest of it in a couple months, but
Okay. So you have 495
today,
Okay. Do you have that? Is that happen to be in cash?
yes.
Okay, great. Then we'll apply that to the restitution.
The probation said all payments to that has to be in cash.
Correct. So the 495 that you have today, I'm gonna make sure that's paid toward the restitution since you
Right.
have it in cash here.
Right.
Okay?
Yes, I do.
All right. He lives in Ohio? Hold on. Oh, he does live in Ohio. We don't like people from Ohio.
I don't come to the football game.
What'd you say?
I stay away from the football.
Oh, do you? Okay, all right. Then I'll give him a pass. All right.
Why I was asking for the balance of the restitution, is he able to send that in with a money order? or-
Yes, the balance of the restitution can be paid by money order.
Thank you.
Okay, as well as everything else. And that'd be a payment plan as directed by probation. All right. So talk to Ms. Valera. She'll arrange a payment plan with you. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a theft class within the next 60 days. I'll set a review hearing July 9th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I will order 365 days in jail. That is suspended. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Safe travels. Godspeed back on your journey back. Court does call the case of the people versus Susan Hall. Susan Hall,
Good morning,
sorry to wake you up. No, go ahead.
I apologize, Your Honor. That is my fault.
Okay, I knew it.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate, not with, but on behalf of Ms. Hall. Your Honor, I can state for the record about an hour ago, Ms. Hall did text me and she said that she was unable to download Zoom because she was having phone issues. She respectfully requests for an adjournment for the record, and I did inform her that to try everything possible to get on Zoom. She said that was her only device available and it wouldn't download the app. I told her I would inform the court that she.
Well, she could have even called in.
I did tell her
Some-
she could call, and I did not hear or look at my phone since that communication was sent to her. She obviously did not call in, other than the text she sent me. That is my only explanation for her failure to appear. I would respectfully request an adjournment for the record.
Ms. Valera, you have risen.
Yes, Chris Clare on behalf of probation. Your Honor, my concern with that, Ms. Hall did not complete the scheduled PSI appointment that she had scheduled on June 27th. She called my office a couple days after that, indicating that no one had contacted her for that appointment. She left another number not the one that I got on file. I tried both again to reach her, actually more than once, to try to get this appointment completed before today's hearing, with no response and no answer. Given that she's also not here today, and did not complete the PSI and did not respond to my couple attempts to do that, probation's asking for a bench warrant.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear bond, set the amount of 10,000. Give a 10% privilege to that warrant because of previous warrants will issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the people versus, is it Ina Johnson?
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with an on behalf of Diana Johnson, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, ma'am.
Ayana Johnson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time that was originally set for sentencing. I have reviewed or received and reviewed the recommendation from probation with Ms. Johnson. She has not, we do acknowledge she has not completed the alcohol screening and assessment through Von Schwartz, and she did miss a test on July 1st. I did discuss this with her yesterday on the phone and advised her to go to community corrections as soon as possible to try to test. She informed me, and so did her father, who is here with her today, that she did go to community corrections this morning before court and was there for about 45 minutes. And they said she was unable to test this morning. We are respectfully requesting that the court not remand her at this time and that we adjourn the sentencing out in August to give her the opportunity to complete the alcohol screening and assessment. She is gainfully employed at St. Joe's. She does not want to lose that job. In the alternate, if the court is inclined to remand her in both speaking with Ms. Johnson and her father, our request would be to potentially allow that remand to happen a couple weeks in the future so she can take time off work at St. Joe's so she does not lose that job. Other than that, Your Honor, we respectfully request an adjournment of the sentencing.
And Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, I did communicate with community corrections this morning. She did go over, and she wasn't scheduled to do a test today, so she did not test. She did do her download of her scram. I just confirmed with them that there was no violations on the scram. However, she had not reported to them after June 15th. So there was quite a bit of info that they had to download on that. So I do know that there was no violations on the scram. However, probation also wants to point out to the court that this court did direct her back on April 3rd, I believe, and warned her about any further mistesting. So she was given a warning by this court back in April about her remaining compliant with the testing.
Why?
Why what?
Why'd you miss a test? I mean, I gave you a huge break back in April and just told you, just don't miss the test. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And then when you pled, why didn't you do your alcohol screening and assessment?
Forgot to print it out.
What?
I said I forgot to print it out.
Oh, they do so much. I mean, I didn't send you the last time. I'll re-refer to defendant to Von Schwartz for completion of her alcohol screening and assessment. Young lady, understand something. If you don't do it, and I don't have that alcohol screening and assessment, the only thing that I can really sentence you to is the maximum time. And I don't want
The
to.
paper,
What?
the paper,
What?
all the lists on it. What is Von Schwartz?
That's for your alcohol screening and assessment.
Is there somebody I'm supposed to go to? What does that name stand for?
That's somebody that you need to call to set up an appointment so that they can interview you and do an assessment.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my office, I know that the clerk's office sends things out. My office also sent an email to her on June 5th, which gave her the packet and the information for the alcohol assessment in addition to the information to complete the victim's impact.
Need to pay a $75 referral fee. Do you have that?
No.
Adjourner sentenced at August 28, 2024, 9 a.m. Young lady, you are leaving me with no options. And I have a feeling that if you don't follow this, that I'm going to end up sending you for the maximum time. I don't want to do that. I'm going to end up finding you in contempt and sending you. So in this, I'm going to, for the bond violation, I'm going to remand her for 3 days. Washtenaw County Jail for defendants remanded. Just go. Is that Dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Get her back. Dad, hang on one second. Go ahead, take her back. Come on up to the, can you come up to the phone? What's your name, sir?
Tony Johnson.
Okay. Can you help try to get her through?
Yes, I will definitely make sure that she does it. She lives with her mom, so I don't kind of know the things that kind of goes on. So I'm just coming to support, and I just was hoping that you didn't take her to jail because
I
she
know,
need this job so bad.
I know. And I, trust me, I did not want to. I just, Miss Clara, can you give to Dad the Von Swartz information and the victim's impact information so that he has it, so that I get where he is. So that he knows what she has to do.
Yes, Your
So
Honor. I do know, I heard him in the hallway, really getting after her for not doing it. So I think that he will.
Well, I don't doubt
If
that.
it's not by my office, or I'll ask them to give you the paper printed out.
Is that in this
It's
building?
right down the hallway.
Okay.
And so I'll tell them you're coming right down.
And,
Okay.
I have the $75 for any fee or whatever that she might have needed to pay. I do have the money, so.
Whose case is this? Yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel approach with Miss Clara. I'm not gonna be done with this. I'm gonna pass this. Have a seat. Well, talk to Miss Polera. She'll tell you something, and you may just have to wait a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Trust me on it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, People versus Nicholas. Is it Miletich?
Assistant Public Defender Natalie
Here.
Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Militic, who is present via Zoom. Can you please unmute and state your name for the record, sir?
Nicholas Miletich.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. I have reviewed the PSIR with Mr. Militic. We have no changes, additions, or corrections, and would respectfully request that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
Sir, anything you want to say to the court before I impose sentence?
No, there isn't. Thank you.
Fines and costs of $480. I'll order 93 days in jail suspended. When can you pay the $480?
I can have it all paid by the end of July. I can come in today and pay $50 and have the rest paid by the end of July.
Okay, $50 today. And then the balance by July 31st. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Court calls case, People versus Horace Napier.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Pearney on behalf of Mr. Napier, who's approaching.
Okay. I didn't see anybody get up and I thought, no, he's not.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask before. Mr. Napier is hard of hearing.
Oh, okay. We'll get you the headphones. Can you hear me, Mr. Napier? Got me? Okay, good enough. All right, go ahead.
All right, today is the date and time set for sentencing. I did review the recommendation with Mr. Napier, and we have no objection to anything except for the jail recommendation, believe it or not. Mr. Napier denies that he consumed fentanyl. There was a positive test on July 5th. He is testing at the methadone clinic. Did try to call up there and get the results from the methadone clinic. And they said that the results weren't processed yet. They told us to call back in a couple of days. I do know Mr. Napier has provided me extensive test results from his methadone clinic. I have 3 here. Every test that you showed me from there has been negative. He was reporting there daily. He is now moved up a phase in the clinic where he can take his methadone home with him. He does not have to go there daily. I will also say he did complete Sacred Heart inpatient, and he has been attending AA meetings here and there when he can get to them. He does not have transportation. But we actually talked about setting him up with AA meetings online, so he doesn't have to deal with the transportation issue. I would ask perhaps that the court hold the 5 days in abeyance until we can get the results from his methadone clinic to the court, and maybe address them at his next review hearing. He also did mention that he's starting to get back to work now. He's going to be painting, and doesn't want any jail time to mess with his new job.
Your Honor, I also wanted to update the court, Mr. Napier, in addition to the positive fentanyl test on July 5th, he missed his testing on July 9th. So
Yesterday you had a test, and Mr. Napier reports that he couldn't afford to pay. He's been struggling to pay.
Get $1,200 a month.
He's on Social Security on a fixed income. And this all has been difficult. The financial impact of this has been difficult. And that's why he wants to get back to work.
Sir, anything you want to tell me before I impose it?
No, sir. I've been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I had to borrow money a couple of times to drop. And I've been having bad luck on that, and I'm getting ready to start work again.
Court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute, however, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. Specifically, the alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of outpatient treatment, AA/NA meeting attendance, and abstinence from all intoxicants. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. So therefore, the sentence of the court, I'll place you on 24 months probation. You're to pay $855 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, $720 probation oversight fees. That will be on a payment plan as arranged by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll continue random testing 2 times per week. You're to complete the CCOP program or comparable program as directed by probation. You're to provide proof of current methadone treatment, remain compliant with programming requirements. You're to attend 2 AA/NA meetings per week with monthly verification to probation. You're to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. I am going to order 93 days in jail, credit 32 served. The defendant is remanded to serve an additional 5 days for the bond violations. And then the balance of that will be suspended. Defendant is remanded. Court calls the case People versus Renee Scholl.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Scholl. Ms. Scholl, can you unmute and state your name for the record?
Renee Scholl.
Your Honor, today's the date and time set for sentencing. We have reviewed the PSIR and we don't have any material changes, additions, or deletions. And we do ask that you adopt probation's recommendation. I will say on the financial aspect, this case is quite old. She also had a felony in front of Your Honor that at PCC stage was dismissed because she did pay the restitution. That restitution was $180 and it took her over 2 months to pay. That was very difficult. She is trying to work and she does live in Nevada, but every time she gets close to a job, this pops up and she's denied the job. She just lost a job because of the background check. So she isn't in a tough financial spot. She is going to submit, or she has submitted a ability to pay form. But I just wanted the court to know that it may take her some time to pay off everything.
And to be clear on behalf of probation, Your Honor, I did have a conversation with her about the fines and costs and her inability to keep a job. It's probation's belief that job where she was unable to keep it was based upon the felon. This case, with being a prosecutor deferred sentence, should not be hold her back from getting employment. She did, after I met that PSI appointment with her. She did contact me back and advised me that she did obtain a job and she should not have problems making the payments to her.
Ma'am, is there anything you want to say before I impose that?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I guess Ms. Pilara didn't realize I thought I had that job and that job fell through, so I am no longer employed. I'm still actively looking for work, but it's very hard. I'm 62 years old and it's been a while since I've worked on paper, so to speak. So I just need time to pay this fine because I have no income at all right now.
All right. I'm going to place the defendant on the 4 months prosecutor deferred sentence program. You're to pay $555 fines and court costs, $120 probation oversight fees. That'd be a payment plan as directed by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete a theft class. You're to do that within the next 60 days. There's no going to any Meijer stores in the state of Michigan. I'll set a review hearing November 13th, 2024 at 9 a.m. I'll order 365 days in jail. That is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate your service. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, ma'am. Court calls case People versus Deanna Simmons.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Simmons, who should be present via Zoom. Ms. Simmons, could you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Yes, Deanna Simmons.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today
Can
is
you
the
hear
date
me?
and time set.
We got you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. I have reviewed the PSIR. With Ms. Simmons, we have no changes, additions, or corrections, and we would respectfully request that the court adopt probation's recommendation. Ms. Simmons, only one request is she stated to me that she is largely working an Instacart at this time to provide for her children and asked that the court maybe consider lowering some of the fines and court costs. Outside of that, we would respectfully request the court follow probation's recommendation.
Ma'am, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, everything she stated is correct.
Sentence of the court, 6 months prosecutor deferred sentence. You're to pay $480 fines and costs, $180 probation oversight fees, $48.43 restitution to Walmart payable through the court. When can you pay that, ma'am?
I can pay that on by Friday.
You can pay the whole amount by Friday?
Yes. Now, okay, I can pay it all, but I thought that like the probation fees or one of the fees they told me I could get it reduced or waived.
I don't know who told you that. That's up to me, and I'm not waiving it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I'll pay it Friday.
All of this by Friday?
Yeah.
Be paid by July 12th, 2024. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as probation. You are positive strategies for life program. You to do that within the next 60 days. You to complete 25 hours of community service as directed by probation. No going to any Walmart store in the state of Michigan. I'll set a review hearing. That's to be held January 15, 2025 at 9 a.m. I'll order 90 days in jail. That is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. You can log off now.
Thank you. Bye.
Court calls the case People versus Rosalind Wallace.
Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Wallace. Ms. Wallace, can you unmute and say your name for the record, please?
Rosalind Marie Wallace.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Your Honor, today is the date and time set for sentencing. We did review the report. We have no additions, deletions, or.
All right. Ms. Wallace, is there anything you want to tell the court before I impose sentence?
Yes, please. I'd like to apologize to the court rather, for taking up your time with this matter. It shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry that I did it. And I just asked the court to consider my probation recommendations.
Sentence of the court, I'll place you on 4 months prosecutor deferred sentence program. You're to pay $555 fines and court costs, $120 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, ma'am?
I can pay $110 today with my bank debit card.
Okay.
And I'm on Social Security, so I don't get paid until the fourth Wednesday of every month. So I can't make another payment until the end of the month. And then I get $600 in with my retirement, so I can
Okay, let's do this, ma'am. You pay 110 today and then a payment plan as directed by probation, so we can try to fit you within the 4-month time frame, okay?
okay. Oh, yes, I can pay it within the 4 months.
Okay, so we'll just
Absolutely.
have that set up to get that done, okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You'll be subject to testing as requested by probation. You are to complete a theft class within the next 60 days. No going to Home Depot stores, any Home Depot store in the state of Michigan. I'll set a review hearing that to be held November 13th, 2024 at 9 a.m. I'll order 365 days in jail. That is suspended. All right.
Thank you, Your
ma'am.
Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, we got to get folks waiting on the 12 o'clock call. I'm gonna take a brief break. We've got to get those files set up and ready to go. And then I'll be right back out shortly to start calling those cases. Okay, court's gonna stand in recess. I'm gonna let the bread bake a little bit longer, but we'll get to it.
All right.
I do. Do I just log out?
I know. I want.
All rise.
Huh?
The 14th District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session.
You have to put the court does call the case of People versus Joshua Wilson.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
All right, this is I'm not sure a waiver is needed at this point, but go ahead.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Wilson.
This is just to correct a plea that was entered. I reviewed the tape and it was for improper lane usage. I said, and I don't know if Ms. Barroso heard me clearly, I said, is it the misdemeanor? She said yes. And I proceeded as though we're misdemeanor. My understanding through emails that we have that it was corrected that it was that this was supposed to be a civil infraction.
That's correct, and that was completely my fault, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The important thing is we get it straight. So this is a CI. And
Yes,
is Mr.
thank
Wilson
you.
here?
Yes, he is, Your Honor. Mr. Wilson is present via Zoom.
Mr. Wilson?
Joshua Wilson here.
Okay. You heard that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So since it's a civil infraction, I didn't need to talk to you as long as I did with the plea. But anyway, fine. Thank you for saying that. Not many think that way. All right. Fines and cost of $130. That would be the price on a civil infraction. When can you get that paid, sir?
Can I have 90 days with my first payment being here by the end of the week?
Have 90 days.
Just do 3 installments.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, since everything got a little bit confused there, what's the word? July, August. Can you get it paid by the end of September if I do it that way?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then I'll just make it payable by September 30th, 2024. And you'll be all good. Okay.
All right,
thank you. Thank you, Ms. Barroso.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Martina Warden.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Warden, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, ma'am.
Martina Warden.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. We have reviewed the PSIR and have no changes, additions, or corrections, but would like to address the recommendation briefly when appropriate.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Warden has informed our office that she has recently purchased a camper, which she would like to travel to Ohio on the weekends. She is respectfully requesting that the court allow her to leave the state of Michigan to go to Ohio during the probationary term. Outside of that, we'd respectfully request the court adopt probation's recommendation.
Anything you want to say before I impose sentence? On count one, the attempted resisting and obstructing, place you on a 24-month probationary term. Order $555 fines and court costs, $720 probation oversight fees. When are you going to get that paid?
I did talk to the probation officer, I want to say on the 28th of June, and informed her that when I get my taxes in February, everything will be paid off. In the meantime, I can make small payments.
I'll just indicate a payment plan as arranged by probation.
Thank you.
There's to be no assaultive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You are not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're to comply with all the terms as set forth in count 4, which I will sentence you on in a moment. And then I will order 365 days in jail. Credit 2, the balance is suspended.
I gave it.
On count 4, the operating while intoxicated, place you on probation for a period of 24 months. You're to pay $855 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs. That is also under a payment plan as directed by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to continue the dual diagnosis program at Higera Health. Follow all recommended treatment with status reports to probation. You're to attend 2A meetings per week with monthly verification to probation. You're to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. You're to continue your sober link for an additional 30 days in lieu of 3 days in jail. I will order 93 days in jail. Credit 2, the balance is suspended. I will indicate the defendant may travel to Ohio. However, if probation directs otherwise, that privilege may be revoked. So she needs to comply with this sentence.
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the people versus Eric L.Z. Williams.
For Elsie Williams. Elsie Williams, will you unmute, state your name for the record, please?
Eric L.Z. Williams.
Elsie Williams here on the show cause. I did speak with him yesterday regarding the balances. He stated he's just getting back to work and can pay $50 on each case per month, so a total of $100 to the court.
Is that what probation, did he arrange a payment plan with probation?
So I think, yeah, I think.
Yeah, no, but did he not, in 2022, there was a payment plan to be arranged by probation. Did he not keep to that payment plan?
I don't think so. I think it was referred to collections, and collections tried to get in touch with him, and Mr. L.Z. Williams said he didn't receive the communications and didn't follow back up, and that's why it was scheduled.
Has he submitted any financial information? Because these are both OWI cases, and at $50 per month or $100 per month on each case, these things are never going to get taken care of.
I can send him the ability to pay for the court's review.
As soon as I get my taxes, Your Honor, I can pay it in full.
And then to pay $50 per month, beginning when?
This month, I can start within the next couple of weeks.
Defendant to pay $50 per month, beginning July 30th, and the 30th of each month.
And if I have more money, of course, I want to take care of it as soon as possible. But I don't want to be in the red, so I don't want to say I can pay $100 on each case, and then I get into a financial struggle, and then I get the red.
I understand that, but you really haven't paid anything since this May 11th of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case People versus Bianca Gamble.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Gamble. During our show, Ms. Gamble is here. Don't have an explanation for her failure to
show cause. Ms. Gamble, Bianca Gamble.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
This is show cause.
Yes,
How much is on?
365.
All right, you're here on a show cause.
Yes.
There's what, 355?
365.
365 owing. When are you gonna get that paid?
I can do that on what's today's date? The 10th. I can do it on the 15th when I get my check.
The 15th of this month?
Yes, sir.
I'll indicate defendant to pay balance by July 15th, 2024. I'll adjourn this show cause out to July 24th, 2024 at 9 a.m.
Yes.
At 9 a.m. If you paid it, you don't need to appear. But if you haven't paid it, you need to see you.
Okay.
Thank you. Court calls
You're
case
welcome.
People versus Desmond Johnson.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Laura Perry on behalf of Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, in the last couple days, I have not been able to get in touch with Mr. Johnson. I don't have an explanation for his failure to appear. I would ask for an adjournment.
How much is he on?
975.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 10,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Anthony King.
Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. King, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. King, state your name, please.
Anthony King.
This show cause also. Got it. Okay. All right. Sir, you owe $2,400 and $68.80. $1,068.80 of that, which is restitution. When is this going to be paid?
Can I make a payment plan doing like 50 a month starting September 1st?
At 50 a month, I don't know when this is going to ever get paid.
I'm thinking 100, but I don't want to say 100 in case I fall short.
I ordered this back over a year ago, and my problem is that you haven't paid the restitution more than anything.
Okay. I'm in recovery. I'm going to school full time. I'm volunteering through RAP through Home and New Vision. I'm looking for a job right now. I've got several interviews this week and next. I'll be working by the end of next week, I believe. Is there any way I could do community service for the portion that's not the restitution?
I'm going to consider that. I usually don't do it. I'm not even considering it in this case because the restitution hasn't been paid.
Okay.
What's my sensing date? December. You got one?
December 11th.
I'll order $75 per month beginning August 1st, 2024. I'll set a review hearing on the payment plan for December 11th, 2024, 9 a.m.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Michael Kyle.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Kyle, who is present with us. Can you please state your name for the record, sir?
Michael Kyle.
All right.
This is likewise the show cost. My understanding, my client still owes $360 on this case. He, as Your Honor is likely aware, he was incarcerated for a while in our county jail until somewhat recently. He is unable to make a payment at this time, but he is here today and hopeful to get back into paying this.
Well, how's he going to do that?
I think he is requesting a payment plan, Your Honor.
Well, somebody want to propose one? I mean, I'm not.
Mr. Kyle, would you be able to pay $50 a month starting in August?
Yes.
$50 per month beginning August 1st, 2024. I'll set a review hearing on this matter for December 11th, 2024, 9 a.m.
All right. Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Terry Lopez.
Public Defender Natalie Pate for Mr. Lopez, who I do not believe is present unless he has found his way.
Terry Lopez.
With him, it's my understanding he still has not been successful in making contact. However, for the record, I would respectfully request an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10% privilege, and warrant will issue immediately. Yeah. Court calls case People versus McCullough Stumbo.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Stumbo. Ms. Stumbo, can you mute the name for the record, please?
Michaela Stumbo. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my camera to turn on. Michaela Stumbo.
610.
Yes.
You owe $610, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. I was gonna ask you if I'm able to set up a payment plan. I should be able to pay at least $50 to $75 every 2 weeks.
Beginning when?
Next week I should get my check on Wednesday.
What else? Next week you get your check?
Yes, on Wednesday, Your Honor.
All right. $75 every 2 weeks, beginning July 19th.
And I do want to say something.
2024.
I do apologize for missing the last court date. I had got the court date and then my house had got broken into literally the day after, and I literally totally forgot like it was the day before the court date, and I literally totally forgot about the court date, so I'm sorry about missing it.
All right, very good. We'll get it corrected. Get those payments in. Let's get this taken
Okay,
care of.
I also have a question. Is it only able to make payments through a debit card with my name on it? Because I did try to make a payment on there, but it wasn't going through.
I don't know if it has to be her name on it. There has to be some way of authorizing that it's
I've never heard of that issue.
right. Ma'am, I don't know if you put all the correct information in, but I don't think a name should prevent it.
Okay, so because I think I had used my boyfriend's card, but it had the money and everything on it, and it was like a valid debit card, but it wasn't going through. So I didn't know if like it had to be my name or it had to be like a certain
No,
bank
I don't
account
think
or
it has to
something.
be your name. All of the information that you have, the CCV and the address and everything along those lines, all has to be match the card holder.
Okay.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the people versus DeMarcus Washington.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington, can you unmute and state your name for the record?
DeMarcus Washington.
You have a camera. You need to turn your camera on, sir. Oh, right here. All right, we got you. Okay.
Your Honor, we adjourned the show cause because Mr. Washington brought up the fact to this court that he was recently released from prison. I did get documentation from Mr. Washington as well as Odyssey that on February 4th of 2020, Judge Punky revoked his probation, sentenced him to a minimum of 18 to 5 years in MDOC.
When was that?
February 4th, 2020.
Okay.
I did receive from Mr. Washington verification of incarceration from February 4th, as well as documentation from an internal prison form that he was still there on May 9th, 2024. I'm happy to provide these to the court if you would like to see them.
Well, that's okay. He just got released, right? So, young man, where are you now in terms of what you're doing?
I'm still trying to find a job, but I feel like I'm gonna get a job real soon. Judge, I really want all this to be behind me, and I was really looking
I
for
know.
I was
I
really
hear you.
I was really looking for some time served and just get all this behind me and just I could move forward.
I'm not going to negotiate it that way. I need more information about what you're doing. I'm not saying I won't do that, but that's not the way it works where just because you want it behind you, that's what's going to happen. Are you employed you're on parole right now, right?
No, I actually maxed out. I just did 5 years. So I'm just on a new, you know what I'm saying, on a restart.
Hold on a second. I thought you said he was sentenced in
2020. He did have 250 days credit.
Oh, okay. So you almost had a year credit going in, right?
Right.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. And I'm not saying I won't consider all of that, young man. I'm just telling you that I've got to see something. So I'm just going to do I'm gonna just adjourn this out to December.
Would you like him to fill out an ability to pay form?
Yeah, he
Okay.
can do that.
Well, can we see so you want me to give you some money? So how much
Hang
money?
on. Hold on. Just hold on. You're trying to rush too much. You contact your attorney. There's going to be a form she's going to want you to fill out that I'll be able to consider along with everything else.
Okay. That sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to put it in December. That doesn't mean that I'll get rid of everything, but let's see what we can do once I take a look at, have everything in front of me. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Court calls the case, People versus Kawan Williams.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Mr. Williams, who should be present via Zoom.
He is. Mr. Williams, Kawan Williams.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
There he is. 686.
That is my understanding, Your Honor. I believe he's respectfully requesting a payment plan. Mr. Williams, would you be able to?
Say it again.
Mr. Williams, would you be able to pay $50 a month beginning in August on this rearage?
Yeah,
I don't like the way that was phrased. Can you pay 100 a month?
Can I pay 100 a month? I was looking to pay this by Monday in full.
Oh, thank you. So the 15th?
Yes.
Okay.
In full.
In full.
I pay 150 today and then the rest in full by Monday.
Thank you. So 150 today, and then the balance, I'll give you to that Friday, the 19th. Then the balance by July 19th. Thank you, sir. Do appreciate that.
Thank you.
I got my 1 o'clock, but it's just 1:03. Right? I do have 1 o'clock. Are they in the waiting room? Okay, don't bring them out. Look at that man's job.
I think this is Horace Napier's. I think he took it off.
I'm bringing Miss Johnson back out. Miss Pate.
Yes, Your Honor. For the day.
What do you mean? I'm having fun. They put her way in the back. Recalls the case of People versus Johnson. Didn't he just tell you to take your hands out of your pocket? Oh.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Johnson. Ms. Johnson, please state your name for the record.
Ayana Johnson.
Miss Johnson, let me ask you this. Do you want to go to jail?
No.
So I'm going to tell you what. The only reason I brought you back out, didn't have you sent down, is you can thank that man right there, your dad. Because if he hadn't stood up and said something to me, I would not be letting you even thinking about letting you go. There is no reason in the world you haven't gotten this done. None. Do you hear me?
Yes.
When your dad found out that you didn't do this stuff, what did he say to you?
He said, they not playing with you. You should have been had it done. Stuff like that. There's no reason that you shouldn't have had it done.
And what, you don't think he was right to?
Yeah.
So why didn't you have it done?
Because I didn't check my email to have it printed out. When I got the call from her that I needed to have it done, I printed it out. I just need to send it out. I have the money order. It's literally in the car, in the envelope. I just need to mail it. So I technically do have it done. I just didn't send
No,
it.
you don't technically have anything done.
Okay, well, I didn't send it out.
Young lady, you may address other people that way. You better check yourself before you're addressing me that way.
I'm just saying, I didn't get a chance to send it out.
Because you know what? Your daddy's right about one thing. I'm not playing. Are we clear?
Yes.
Now tell me why I ought to give in to your father's wishes to let his daughter go.
Because I have to go to work. And because what I did was minor, and I'll fill it out and send it out. So you should let me go so that I can go to work so I don't lose my job.
Were you thinking about that when you didn't mail the envelope? Did you think about all the bad stuff that could happen to you?
No, not really.
If you lose your job, what are you going to do?
I'm going to have to figure it out.
Are you in school?
I was. The summer school right now.
Where?
Pathways?
So you trying to get your high school education?
Yes,
How old are you?
20.
How close are you to getting your, are you gonna get a GED or a diploma?
My diploma. I have to go back in August for like 2 months, and that's it.
Then what?
I have to go back for 2 months, and that's it.
And then you have your diploma? Dad, is there anything you want to say?
You better take my power to make sure all this gets done.
Father's prayer for his daughter. I'm gonna tell you what, young lady. Miss Blair, a condition of her release, once we get through this, is that she gets her diploma. Thank you. Your dad says he has the $75. I want that paid today up front. You have to pay your father back.
Okay.
You hear me? Dad, you'll promise me if I let her go that if she doesn't pay you back, you'll let me know? I'm gonna cancel my remand. I'm gonna give you a warning. I can be just as straight up as I can be with you. You mess anything up, even that man's not gonna be able to save you. You hear me? Go with her dad. Dad, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And I do apologize. What was the adjourned sentencing date again?
The adjourned sentencing date on this matter will be August 28th.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.